Hi, I'm Terry, and I'm nuts about stamping. I'm back today with another Sundays with Sizzix project. It's this beautiful fall thank you card that I created using my Big Shot. Here are the supplies that I used. Along with my Big Shot and my 2 standard cutting pads, I used the Leaves #2 Big's die. And here's a tip. Once you know the measurements of a piece of cardstock that you need for a die, use a Sharpie marker and write the measurements on the sticker label so that you never have to look it up again. I used 2 colors of ink. I used Cajun Craze and Soft Suede. And along with that, I dedicated 2 sponges, one for each color. I used my snail adhesive and my Stampin' Dimensionals. I used the short and sweet stamp set. For cardstock, I used Soft Suede, well-worn designer series paper, Cajun Craze, and Not Quite Navy. I used my modern label punch. And I would like to introduce something to you. These have been in the catalog for a long time, but I have never shown you how to use them. They are the texture cut wood sheets that Stampin' Up! Sells, item number 116309. You get 4 wood sheets per package, and you can use them to create a lot of cool things for cards and scrapbook pages and paper projects. So I'm going to show you how to use that today. I'll be back in a moment and I'll show you how to use the wood sheets to create the leaf and the phrase for the card. Back in a moment. Okay, I'm back and I'll show you how to make the leaf. While I was switching supplies around and getting things organized, I took my tabletop cutter, which is a great cutter to use for the wood sheets, and I cut a strip that's 3 inches wide because I only want to cut out a couple of leaves from my die, and so I didn't want to, waste my wood sheets. So to set up my Big Shot, I have the bottom standard cutting pad, my leaves die. I'm going to cover up the 2 leaves that I want to die cut, and then my top standard cutting pad, and then you just run it through the Big Shot like you would any other project idea. There we go. And there are my 2 leaves. Now you want to keep this scrap piece because that's what I used to stamp and punch out the phrase, which I'll show you in a minute. So I'm going to put this leaf aside and use it on another card later on. And I'm going to bring in this leaf. And because the well-worn designer series paper is quite aged, I want to age this leaf as well. So I'm going to bring in my soft suede and my sponge, and I'm just going to sponge all over the leaf to age it. I'm going to do the edges first, and then what I'm going to do is bring in the Cajun Craze ink and a sponge, and I'm going to just wipe that very gently across the surface of the leaf, and that darkens it and ages it a little better. Let me show you the difference. See how sort of light colored that is, or balsa wood color? This is darkening in a bit. And then I'm going to bring in my soft suede again and just sort of do a light brushing all over. You can do as much or as little as you like to age the leaf to be how you would like it for your card. And let me bring this in and I'll show you what I did to complete the card. So I've got a piece of soft suede paper as my card base. I used a piece of the well-worn designer series paper. I took my Not Quite Navy cardstock, and what I did was I crumpled it up because I want to age this as well. Then you open it up and then crumple it up again. The more you do this, the more you will age your cardstock. And then do it a 3rd time. And then I took my same sponge and my soft suede and I just rubbed it all over. So I started to age that piece of cardstock. And then I flattened it out and adhered it on top of the well-worn designer series paper. I've got a layer of, actually that's chocolate chip, although you could certainly use soft suede, Cajun Craze, and I again aged the sides, all 4 sides, with my sponge and my soft suede ink to age the Cajun Craze. And then I attached the leaf using a couple of Stampin' Dimensionals. Then, to do the phrase below, all I did was pick out a stamp that I wanted to use. Let's see, where's the thank you? Here's the thank you. And you're going to stamp it right on the wood sheet. And then I'm going to use my modern label punch to punch it out. You have to squeeze, but it does punch. And then I went ahead and aged around it exactly the same way that I did the leaf. This time I really added a lot of ink. And I can use a little bit of the Cajun Craze in the center just to add a little bit of matching color. And there you go. Let me bring in my original. So I just adhered that flat to the card front. One thing I didn't show you was the back of the wood sheets. It's got a white paper to it, which adds a little bit of thickness, but it makes it perfect for using your Big Shot or your punches to create these images for your card. For a complete listing of the supplies I used and the measurements for the layers for the card, please visit my blog, www.nutsaboutstamping.com. While on my blog, make sure you are a subscriber to my email newsletters. Use the Join My Mailing List button on my blog. I have a special edition of newsletters coming out just for my subscribers. They'll be starting this Wednesday. There is also a special announcement from Stampin' Up. They are offering a free Big Shot to anybody who joins Stampin' Up in the month of October. I would love to have you join my team and get yourself a free Big Shot, or you can also substitute that Big Shot for $100 in additional free product. For more information, check out my blog and you'll see all the details there. I'm Terry. I am Nuts About Stamping. See you next time. Bye for now.